Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams and Laura Gillette. For all your real estate needs, go to teamgillette.com. And H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser. For more information on your tax preparation needs, call 541-928-6432. Whoop, whoop. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Experience, live with Russ and Scott. We've made it. We're live. We're here. And I am on location here at the Gillette Home team, one of our fabulous sponsors. We're so thankful for the Gillette Home team and for H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser. The two of them make this show possible. Scott, how are you doing?
My friend, I am doing great. We had so much fun on our Instagram live with Shri this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And just to remind people, at the half hour before we start, so whatever time zone you're in, 30 minutes before now, we have an Instagram live, and it's backstage with Russ and Scott and Shri. And we just had so much fun. We just talked about mugs, shirts, swag, the experience coming your way. It's Mother's Day is coming. Father's Day is coming. I can't think of a better gift for your graduate. And the other thing that goes with this, we said, look, we have all these left over. They make perfect coasters.
I love that. I love that. They do make perfect coasters. You're right. They also make good Kleenex if you have nothing else around to sneeze into. They're handy for that too.
Oh, my word. Russ, what have you got going on this week? What is coming up for Russ?
Crazy as always, but good. Good. Yeah, I am actually on a fast track this morning. Drove down about 30 miles south of where I live for the great Instagram and the Experience live with Russ and Scott from our great sponsor, Laura Gillette and the Gillette Home team. And then I got to go to one of my favorite coffee shops, Mugs Coffee, get a coffee, do some tax work, run to a networking meeting live with people. And then I'm coming back to meet with Scott for the Experience Mastermind live with Russ and Scott at 10:30. So just the morning is kind of woo, got a lot going on.
It's a great morning for the Experience because we've got the Instagram, we've got the show, we have great guests today. We've got Elizabeth Miller and Christine Smith, and I also produce Christine's show, the Aging Better Network, which starts 2 hours from now, a little bit before that, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and you can find that on her LinkedIn at Christine Smith. So find her on LinkedIn.
And it's an awesome show. And Scott, you, like me, have a ton of stuff going on. But hey, you know what? Let's jump in and get our guests in here. We're going to start with Elizabeth this morning. She's backstage. She's ready. Here she is. Elizabeth Miller, how are you doing?
Fabulous. Fabulous. I'm fueling up for our conversation.
That's a good thing. Yes, I'm on to water at this point.
Oh, I got both. I'm always got 2 beverages going.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. You know, you and I got to chat the other day, and what an awesome person. I mean, I just had such a great time learning, and we had only a short time, so I'm excited today to learn more. And if you could just start off by letting everybody know a little bit about Elizabeth, where you came from, and how you got to where you are today, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I live outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in Marietta. I spent most of my professional career working in IT and strategy, and then resigned from my corporate job last May because I had started my side hustle back in 2015 called Happy Healthy Caregiver. And I didn't, set out to have a dream of having a caregiving business or being a family caregiver. It just, like many of us, happened to us. For me, it was a mudslide that I saw coming with my both of my parents had chronic comorbidities, and I have an older brother. I'm one of 6 kids who has a developmental disability. My side hustle back in 20. And my husband was also caring for his mom. So we were what you affectionately called squeeze in the sandwich generation. We had 2 kids in middle school, starting out in high school. Now they're in college. We're empty nesters. His mom has now passed away. My parents are both deceased. I'm a long distance caregiver for my brother, but Happy Healthy Caregiver is my passion. And basically what it does is support family caregivers, the 53 million unpaid caregivers just in the US alone, who are struggling to figure out and find their way. So support and resources.
Well, that is amazing. Scott, you have really joined into this senior care industry with your beautiful wife, Christine, who we're going to bring in right now too, and bring her in and get the show rolling. There she is.
Hi, everyone. Woo!
How you doing?
I'm gonna get my light closer. There we go. Now
She's getting all settled. There you are. Well, Christine, I think you know my co-host a little. Why don't you let everybody else know about you and how you got into what you're doing today?
I've seen a picture of him on my wall in a tuxedo. So yes. Yeah, we're at 37 years. So you start talking about my husband and I kind of lost track. You want me to talk about me?
About you.
Oh, okay, great. I am the aging enthusiast. So I have looked that up. There are people who are anti-aging enthusiasts. And so I did write that people who are embracing their aging, their arms are going to get tired. It's a good thing to embrace your aging, but your arms are going to get tired. And so I've got my side hustle was in my brain for a long time, and now it's to the forefront. And that's what I've been working on and talking with people. And I even spoke with a gal yesterday. I say speak, but it's right here. With a gal yesterday who is about to become an author. And she said, I've bought your book. I'm so excited. So in a very short few months, I've written a book called The Act of Aging. The art of aging is something that has been around as a phrase for a while, but the act of aging, because my concept is that there are things that you can do, ways in which that you can perform or act right now that will make a difference in your relationships and your emotions in this upcoming third of your life. So I say, you know what? You've been planning for your future your whole life since kindergarten. That's when I decided I wanted to be a teacher. I planned into the future when my neighbor said you'd make a good caregiver. And so I planned to be a good caregiver and how I would do that. And now I'm helping to put together a template, a program for people to think about their relationships and their emotions, because the one thing that affects everything as you age is how you feel. So this is a more intentional way to approach aspects of aging, issues and challenges and things that you have to consider that are part of the third of your life. And I'm so excited to be on the screen with Elizabeth again, and with you,
Yes.
Russ, and with my husband.
It's
That's
been a lot of fun because watching your business grow, watching you connect to people, and I get to sit on the side sometimes, like when you're doing your podcast and interviewing people like Elizabeth. And so I've been able to watch the two of you interact, and what a blessing that is.
Yes, I'm actually a podcaster myself with a Happy Healthy Caregiver. Launched a new episode today with a millennial caregiver, Lucinda Koza of iAlly. And so it's fun for me to be on the other side of the mic sometimes. I think what I love about Christine is someone said she's got a lot of enthusiasm. She does. And, sometimes we put some things out into the universe and we're like, is anybody paying attention and listening? Christine is paying attention. There are a handful of people that are just like really engaged with the content and just pull out all the nuggets from the episode. So I really appreciate you, Christine, doing that, because I think sometimes people are too busy. They don't have time to listen and read everything. And so you kind of get to the point.
Elizabeth, I was thinking about things that we have in common. We diverge at the point that your focus and your heart and your practical applications are toward a person who is giving care. That could apply to someone who does it as a job, puts on scrubs, and shows up in a hallway or in a home. And very much for people who realize I'm spending a lot of time with someone else and I'm assisting them. So that's where we diverge, because I'm pointing more towards the people who maybe have been giving care or have seen their friends doing caregiving to family members, and they think out loud, what about me? Who's going to take care of me? How am I going to handle this in my future? Man, we've been scrambling and trying to figure out. So that's why I also put together the Aging Better Network, agingbetternetwork.com, because I'm starting to stock that, just starting in these last few months, with resources and links and words that you need to know about your future that you don't know that you need to know until you're in the middle of things. And then I have something new, the event tent. So it would be things like you have been a speaker or presenter for, things that are going on that are one-time opportunities for people to come and learn about aging. And it just crosses over caregiving. There's something that we have in common. We apparently dance with our husbands on camera online.
We did about a week ago. We were at the St. Patrick's Day virtual cafe caregiver dance party. And I begged I'm like, come on, you got to come in. And so, our brave husbands, yes, I haven't been married quite as long as you all, but 26 years next month. So I married my prom date.
Congratulations. That is a good
Yes.
start.
You married your
That's a good
prom
start.
date?
And I didn't have to. I always feel like I have to add that. Like I wasn't, I didn't have kids till 28. So I just feel like I got to put that out there as a good Catholic girl. So yeah. Should we give these two
Russ-
guys a chance to talk? Let's
Russ, you and
Sometimes.
Leah, how long have you and Leah been married?
We've been married 34 years. So
There you
I
go.
think we're all on the right track. We're doing, I have a beautiful, gorgeous wife who's put up with me for that long, and that's great. And so I'm so thankful for that. And, it's been interesting because it's funny you bring her up. She's been really my strength through all that I've gone through with my parents and dealing with having to help with care for them and get them into the right situation. As dealt with my dad's situation, had cancer and dementia, passed away 4.5 years ago, went through the hospice thing with him. Now my mom is in memory care, has Alzheimer's, and she is also on hospice now, learning about all the things. The reason I've been able to make it, number one, my beautiful wife and God who gives me strength. But number two, it's wonderful people like you that helped me out, Elizabeth and Christine, people along the way that knew more than me, that pointed me in the right direction. And still today, I happen to be blessed with there's a network in our area called Better Together. And they are a bunch of senior caregivers that actually support each other. And I actually produce a live stream for one of the people that's part of that group. But it's just a matter of supporting and building and helping in that community. And so I just want to thank both of you for all you're doing. And, Elizabeth, you got into this a few years ago, but where do you see things going with all that you're doing now with the caregiving?
Well, I'll never be bored is kind of one of my phrases, and I just appreciate you saying that, Russ, because I think sometimes when we start these things, we have a little bit of imposter syndrome, thinking that, oh my gosh, who am I to, someone always has it worse, or somebody may have more experience. I'm not a licensed counselor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a person who's lived through it and just sharing wisdom. But what I originally started it because I wanted to quit my day job and care for my mom. And, and that has kind of evolved over the years, because then at some point I wasn't able to quit the day job. And it's taken me, 7 years of being having a side hustle with it. But where I see it going is I want to, if I could wave a magic wand and change something, I really want to have an impact on, what frustrates me the most about our healthcare system is that, people like you all, Russ, right now with your mom, like you're going into doctor's appointments, you're spending time with them in the hospital setting, and you're taking the notes, you're asking the questions, you're obviously, the hub of the care team. And yet, I know my experience with that with mom was like, I'd have to take a half day off work, and that was just so frustrating to not, have the freedom to kind of be able to do that. And then also, like, when I was there in those settings, people were very good about giving me instructions on wound care and how to manage mom's diabetes and things like that. But nobody was really seeing me as the caregiver. And then, not to say that in a selfish way, but I was holding it all together, so to speak, like on eggshells, frankly. And nobody was ever like, here's resources and support for you. And so if we can fast track caregivers to resources and support, I want to be involved in that for sure. And I also think that we, employers are really starting to pay attention as far as the mental health and well-being of their employees. And we had the Great Resignation last year. People are, evaluating their situation, and we're not going to have enough people to work these jobs. And so we've got to figure out how to help and support our employees. And what I'm excited to see is that more employers are reaching out to me to have me come and speak to their employee resource groups, their affinity groups, so that I can, in a setting like that, share to a group ways that they can implement self-care strategies, which goes with Christine, and, aging well, so that we're not repeating the same issue. We're going to live longer. So I know that was a lot, but I'm busy.
Well, Elizabeth, it's so important, because in my personal experience, in everyone that I've talked to that has gone into this, it seems as if you're the first person ever that has had to do this. There's just no roadmap. There's no guidance, because obviously we've never done this before. But then the people who have gone before us, when they're done, it's done, and they don't share back.
Yeah, there's a lot of parenting books, right? And we have baby showers and things like that. But with what Christine's doing with aging well and being proactive about your aging, and with implementing your self-care strategies and having permission to take care of yourself and getting those resources, those are very closely related, in that I want to live into my golden. I got personal goals too, of places I want to go and see. I do not want to repeat the same cycle that my parents have. They left us too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing I found.
Thanks, Christine. She's showing my book,
Oh,
the self-care journal. Thanks.
there you go. Very nice. One thing I have found in this whole process is, we're all learning and growing in life. And one thing that I encourage people is to to surround yourself with great people like Elizabeth and like Christine that know about what people go through, know about the process and can bless you and help you, because it is a huge learning curve when you get thrown into it. And when we go back to my beautiful wife was always 20 steps ahead of me, always encouraging me. I was really in denial when my parents first started having trouble. I'm the happy-go-lucky, life is good, it's all good. And my wife is like, you're wonderful, honey, but yeah, it's not really all good. You need to go check out, what's going on, because it's not all as rosy as you think. And that's not a bad thing. That was just an awareness thing that I had to actually go and figure out what was happening and then consult with great people. And so I encourage people to really reach out to Elizabeth, reach out to Christine, reach out to the people in the senior care industry that can help you, because it's not an easy process, right?
So much vocabulary. I mean, I remember I didn't even know the difference between, assisted living, nursing home, all of the terms, independent living. I'm a smart gal, and it's just like, it wasn't something that, someone had said you get your master's in caregiving. And I feel like that really says it. And I'm still learning every day. Like I am a sponge and soaking it up and trying to just kind of be that connector for people to navigate. But I love it when a question comes my way that I don't know and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think, it's interesting because just a quick plug, one of the live streams that I produced is called Better Together, and it's about supporting seniors in our local communities that maybe aren't quite to the caregiving stage yet, but maybe are moving towards that. And, seniors, it's as we all grow older in this process, we get to the point where my father-in-law was just telling me, I'm realizing I can't do certain things anymore. I'm realizing I can't do certain things anymore. After knee replacement, I can't dunk a basketball. I can tell you that. But we all go through that process. And I think, like you're saying, Elizabeth, we're always learning. We're always figuring things out. And Christine, your whole Better Aging Network and all that you're doing, I really applaud you. I love what you're putting together there. Thank you for that.
It's new. It's a concept that most people do not understand right at first. And it's been wonderful to, be in a room or in something like this and have somebody go, oh, I know how I could use that. I heard from a man in Ireland who goes, I want that. As soon as you're done putting this thing together, I want to use that to have conversations with my parents. Can I make I noticed Luc Jean-Louis had a comment and you placed it at the bottom. And if I read it right, it said, oh, I hate seeing my parents growing older. And, that missing the way that it's always been, and coming to a new viewpoint on, how do I make things better for them? Or, what do we want to do right now with all the abilities that they do have? And so there are a lot of mindset changes. And there's also the information that Elizabeth was talking about. I was caregiving as a hired caregiver. So I was sent out to homes in 2 different counties by my wonderful nonprofit bosses. And to come into a home where everyone is perfectly intelligent and they've been on the they know what's going on in life, but they don't know what's going on in private homes as aspects of aging are beginning to look like dominoes that are falling and hitting each other. And to have these perfectly academic people look at me and go, a shower chair? And I think, oh my, they've just not needed one. They've not seen one, because those are the sort of things that people kind of hide away if you come visit. And people don't stand around at grocery stores going, hey, how do you like your shower chair? So just to be able to be informed about these things, to be able to come into groups like the daughterhood circles and say, does anybody know anything about hospice? Well, yes, there's so much information, but it's not what you stand around in the office necessarily talking about. Because as we've been speaking, I've been hearing our voices become very serious as we talk about aging and as we talk about giving care, giving assistance. And usually we're talking about other things that are going on and popping. And so someone said, you're normalizing that. You're making it part of, hey, I found the best shower chair. Really? I'm going to need one of those because I'm going to have a surgery soon. It's going to be a 6-month process. So that's things that Elizabeth and I are helping so that people don't feel like, am I doing anything right?
I mean, I think that to your point, Christine, like we don't talk enough about we highlight the negative things in aging, and we immediately think about the negative things in aging and in caregiving both. But it is a yes, and yes, it is hard and difficult, and there are challenges, and there is a lot of amazing things that come out of it. Like I'm super grateful for the coffee chats that I had with my mom, and I know I saw her way more in the last 6 years of her life than I may have had she been, completely healthy and my sister wouldn't need help. And we had many conversations, and I recorded her on video, and she showed me that, we went through her jewelry and she told me the stories about things. And so we had some really good things about that. We talked about, how she wanted to be remembered, and what those conversations may sound dark to some people, but I also think that gives you peace in the end so that you can just be present. And what a gift for somebody to kind of like, be with them in the final months or years of their life.
And I love when Christine describes this as the third.
Yes.
You're talking that. So we're not talking about a short period of time. We're talking about a big chunk of your life. And so making it normal makes complete sense.
Well, and let me say that I think that as we look at the third of our lives, and we all are approaching that or in that, there's a great author, Bob Goff. If you guys don't know him, awesome, incredible author. And he talks about in his latest book that I'm reading, he talks about taking a look at his life, and he looked at the basic life expectancy for his family, and he decided, I have about 17 years left, or 15 years left, whatever it was. And he said it sounds negative, but it's not. What you were saying, Elizabeth, about the precious time you got to spend with your mother and with your family. I feel the same way about my parents. And what Bob was saying was, let's take advantage of every day. Let's make the most of it. We're not even guaranteed tomorrow, much less the next 17 years. And so it gives you perspective. And I think that when you're going through this, I have dealt with this with my parents, and especially with my mom here at the end with Alzheimer's. You mentioned it, Elizabeth. I did the same thing. I'm crazy with pictures, #Russ selfie. That's me, but I'm all kinds of little videos. And so I would do walking around this circular hallway in my mom's memory care. We would sing and laugh and just have a great time. And I recorded all these little #happy moments with mama videos.
That was your first podcast.
That's right. My first podcast, I actually recorded like 5 audio podcasts with my mom. And what is a blessing about that is not only did it bless me, because it was really selfish, I'll be honest. It was me preserving my mom's memory and my memories of her. Even though she was already in the Alzheimer's process, she still was so happy and joyous anyway. But it was a blessing to other people. I created, if you go to my YouTube at Russ Hedge, you'll find way back in the early days, #happy moments with mama videos. And they're amazing. And they blessed people that were going through similar situations. People need encouragement and need to realize there's still happy moments to be had. Don't look at life like it's over. Look at the happy moments. Even now, when my mom is in the late terms of Alzheimer's, I saw her yesterday. She smiles at me. She tells me she loves me, and she still is, spreads joy in my heart. So we need to look at those good moments.
Yeah. And Russ, I'm going to be the timekeeper host and say, because that's a great moment. This is a great moment to transition and find out how we can get a hold of and do business with Elizabeth and Christine.
Right. And let's let you each have a last word, what you want people to really remember. And then let us know your contact information. It is magically appearing in the comments, and it's also in the show notes, but let everybody know best way, Elizabeth, to get a hold of you and what you want them to remember today.
Yeah. I mean, I would say as a final words is like, yes, you can do hard things. You do not have to do them alone, would be kind of my my phrase for you. And if you want to talk to me about coaching, or maybe you have a product that you're trying to get out to the caregiving community, you want to hire me to speak, or just check out the podcast. You can do all of that from happyhealthycaregiver.com.
Wow. Well, that was nice and easy. Okay. And Christine, give everybody your last word and how to get in touch with you.
Great. The best way to get the two best ways are my LinkedIn. And if you are watching this on YouTube or something else and you're not on LinkedIn, just find a friend who is and get a hold of me through them. It ends with Christine -- or hyphen Smith, Christine with CH. And everything that you want to know, just go to agingbetterNetwork.com. Aging is not spelled with an E. It is in other countries. I like it with an E, but I did go for the US way, agingbetterNetwork.com. And I am unabashedly, if that is the right word, I'm asking if people pray for me this Friday in the morning. I am a presenter at the Caring Conference with Denise Brown, and I'm scared and excited, and I do want people to go away from what I'm presenting, which is PreActing their age, fortifying those relationships, and preparing to have emotional health as you continue to age. And I really want people to be able to understand a concept that's really new, but it's old because people have been doing it for centuries. We all have someone who prepared ahead of time for an issue that wasn't part of their life, but they did something, and we treasure that now as maybe they've passed or they are in dementia, and we're so glad that they did that thing way in advance. And so I would love for that to really be understood by all the people attending the Caring Conference this Friday, March 25th.
Definitely praying for you. And well, what a great opportunity. And thank you so much again, Christine and Elizabeth. You both are such a blessing. What a great discussion this morning. Scott, if you have a good way to get Christine back, that would be amazing. I'll reach out to Elizabeth. I will have to do this again because what an important topic. It's just so critical, and people need to know there's support there. There's people there that can help you through this process, and you don't have to do it alone. So thank you so much again, both of you. We're going to send you to the green room, but hang tight, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah. So much information.
Yeah. It's, obviously, it's near and dear to my heart. I know it is to yours too. And,
Indeed.
I think that everybody needs to realize that there's somebody that they know or in their family or close to them that is going through this aging process now, that's going through situations, good and bad. Some people live into their 90s and 100s and are sharp as can be and just get to coast to the Lord. Other people have to deal with a lot of issues, and
Well, it's important, yeah.
yeah,
So for those people who may be caring for a relative or have somebody that they know that is caring, definitely get a hold of Elizabeth and bring her in as a speaker. If you have a business, this is one of those great things that you can have as a benefit. Bring her in and just let her equip them with information. And then, of course, Christine with the Aging Better Network, she talks about 52 different aspects of aging. And on her weekly live show, uh, she talks about one of those each week. And she says, it's all about the emotions and relationships. And PreAct your age, she says. PreAct your age while your mind is clear, your emotions are calm, and your relationships are growing deeper.
right. Yeah. Well, we definitely, as always, Scott, have been blessed today. And
Hmm.
just like Scott says, make sure and reach out to Elizabeth and Christine, connect to them. Whether it's coaching or speaking, whatever you need, or whether it's just a a kind ear to listen to what you have going on. They
Hmm.
both are amazing. And so
Yep.
thanks again to them. Remember, we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And don't forget, before that, now on Instagram, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we have the Experience Backstage live with
That's
Russ and
right.
Scott and Shree.
Sometimes you get to watch me make coffee.
You never know what's going
Because
on.
that's what happens backstage. I mean, we're
I
back
was just
there making
wandering the
coffee.
office
So,
this morning here at the Gelato Home Team, one of our great sponsors. Also, don't forget H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser, another great
mhm,
sponsor who make this show possible. And then
we are so
today,
grateful.
10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, every Wednesday, we have the Experience Live with Russ and Scott Mastermind, all around live streaming. If you want to know more about live streaming, or if you are a veteran and you just need to build community and be part of a great community, join us
Mhm.
today, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and you can go to russhedge.com or dscottsmith.com to sign up for that. All right.
Indeed. Well, it's a busy time. And so, Russ, enjoy the day. You are a great friend. I love hanging out with you each week at 7 a.m. Pacific here on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
And I think that we only have one thing to say before we go. There we go. Now we're happy. Kermit's in the house. So until we see you again, have a great day and a great life, and
Enjoy the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.